Hello, everybody. I hope you're going well. Today, I will show you how to actually be a chess master, and with that, I will actually explain you what it is. Well, actually, I have to explain you what it means to be a chess master. So, I just did some puzzles, and I just realized that this puzzle is the best way to explain you what a chess master is. So, it is white's turn to move. You can pause the video and try to find the best move. Um, Now I will just explain you what the thinking process is. So I'm a national master, and I will actually explain you what is going on in that position. So we see that there are two rooks, a bishop, and a queen pointing at the king side, and there is a king alone over there. There is a bishop on f3, but the bishop isn't pointing at the most important squares for the moment. So we can see that visually speaking, black is super duper active on the king side. Now the question is, how should we use that? Because it is actually a pretty important question. Um, if we try to look at a move like rook g2, white can just take it back with a bishop. And there are quite a lot of defenders on the h3 square. On the other hand, if we start with rook h3, again, black can just take back with a pawn. And if we go, for example, for rook h8, there is just bishop g2. The same if you go queen h6, bishop g2 is then a move, and there is nothing. Why am I saying that? Because to be a master, you have to recognize a lot of patterns. Each position, especially when it comes to tactical positions, each positions have probably two or three ideas at the same time. So that is why you have to recognize them. If you want to go for a move that you look fine, you have to know what you want to go for that move. And then when you're looking for a move for your opponent, it is called calculation. You have to use the same idea, but at your opponent's perspective. In that position, I will show you the first move. The first move is actually queen h6. The idea is to actually use the fact that there are some pawns on the king side, and if there were no more pawns on the king side, these two rooks would just provoke a checkmate. So queen h6, the idea is just to go queen h3, pawn takes, and rook takes h3. Now black went bishop g4, but notice that when we reach that position with queen h6 in our mind, then it is time for us to use the calculation. We have an idea. We want queen h3, pawn takes, and rook takes h3 with checkmate, which means that we have to calculate something for white which stops this idea. So let's just start with, for example, queen g3 to stop queen h3. Then rook takes queen, we are up a queen, that's good. Okay, what else? If g3, queen h3, king g1, queen h2, it's checkmate. Okay, but what if rook g1? Okay, rook g1, again I can go queen h3, pawn takes, and rook takes. And it sounds super easy, and I'm also doing that in a pretty fast way. But it is the thinking process that you have to adopt if you want to actually, play good moves. You have to look for your opponent's responses for your ideas. Of course, if you missed an idea, it can happen. It doesn't mean that your idea was wrong. It just means that you didn't recognize, all the ideas. I am also looking at g4, but then I see that I have pawn takes, king g1 at the very least, bishop takes g4, and there must be a checkmating attack. Everything is wide open. So white's response was actually bishop g4. And again, your opponent made a move that you didn't look at. That's all right. But the first thing that you have to do when your opponent plays a move like that is just to ask yourself, what is the idea? Okay, what happens if bishop takes? If bishop takes, probably white wants to be super duper active. What happens if queen d6, for example, trying to go for my king? I see that now if I go bishop g4, queen d6, and queen h3, then I'm not in time to checkmate anymore because pawn takes, rook takes, king g2, bishop f5, and queen g3 to come back. So notice how much I'm able to calculate. But the reason why I am able to calculate out of that is because I have ideas. And I managed to find all the ideas that white had, and of course, the ideas that I had. And what happens if rook there? Okay, rook g4, he can still not take because there is a pin. So let's say rook g4, queen d6. Oh, but no, I want a tempo because I can actually go rook g2, king takes, queen h3, king g1, and queen h1 checkmate. So I know that rook g4 is the best move because I'm just way faster. I want to turn the engine on, but notice that rook g4 is working because it is just a lot faster. And I will show you how many themes there were in that position. There is the first theme of without these 2 pawns, it is a checkmate. So we have a first checkmating pattern. Queen h6, we want to sacrifice the queen, so it is a second pattern to actually open up the position. So we already have 3 patterns. After bishop g4, if we take with the bishop, there is queen d6 and perpetual check, so we already have 6, 7 patterns to make it very easy. And if rook g4, queen d6, I have rook g2, sacrificing a rook to open up the position even more, queen h3 and mate e3, and actually mate e4 with the bishop takes g4, with the move rook takes g4. So we already have almost 10 patterns out of nowhere, even though we had one simple idea of playing queen h6 and then queen h3 and checkmate. So notice how 3 moves needed quite a lot of patterns. So to make it simple, to be a good chess player, you need, to work on tactical patterns a lot, and then try yourself and go for harder puzzles in which, there are even more patterns and patterns and patterns. And that is the best way to improve at chess. If you have any more questions, just let me know in the comment section. My recommendation is just to, if you want to improve at tactics, you can just subscribe to the channel, because this YouTube channel is actually talking a lot about improving at chess. There is also a big amount of historical videos, so if you really want to know a lot about strategy and tactics from ever, just go on the channel, subscribe to the channel, and of course, take your time. Improving at chess isn't easy, except when you do it with this YouTube channel. Thank you very much. See you in the future. Take care.